Hi, this is Eric with the Fuze magazine, and today we're speaking with Matt Caustic at Caustic Method. How you doing today, Matt?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, it's been a long day. We're just ready to kind of sit back, unwind, and kind of talk to one of our favorite bands up here in central New York. And,
Great. Well, you're talking to us right in the rehearsal room. Everybody's here. Everybody say hi to Fuze magazine. That's the guys from the band saying hello.
That's awesome. Yeah, now we're very interested in everything you guys got going on. We've been following you guys for a long time. We've actually been out to a couple of your shows. You played with some national artists that we've actually gotten a chance to, take a look at, while you were on stage. If I remember right, you just recently played with Boy Hits Car at the Free For All. And,
great guys. Love them.
Oh, great. Amazing show. Now, you guys got a brand new album that just came out. You guys just recorded a bunch of songs and released them. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, pretty much. We went into Subcat Studios here in Syracuse, one of the better, world-class studios in the region. So we really wanted to go in there. We've worked in there before. It's a real comfortable vibe. So we just went in there, and we had a bunch of material working, and we went in and recorded a 5-song demo. Basically just to kind of reconfirm where we were going with it before we did a full record, to give the fans some music because we hadn't put anything out in a little bit. So we went into a 5-song EP. Loved the way everything came out in the studio. It was great. Then right around the beginning of the year, we went into talks with Pavement Entertainment about picking up the record for distribution through Sony internationally, and basically what they could be able to handle for us as far as marketing and PR and radio push and video push. And after we did the EP, we went in and did a video for the first single that we were going to release, which was The Virus. And the video just turned out really, really awesome. We got great response to it. So, that got sent to Pavement Entertainment, a great label that's got Head PE, Soil, a lot of fans in our market that we really dig, Straight Line Stitch. So we sent them the video, and they really liked the sonic direction we were going and how we were approaching things. And the video just kind of had its own, it was like a movie short, so it was kind of like a cool MCM in itself, and the single was solid. So we went into negotiations with them and decided if we're going to put this out on a worldwide basis, we should probably now release an EP. So
that's
around
awesome.
the beginning of the year, we went back into Subcat and had a whole bunch of songs and started just tracking. And at the end of it all, we were just sitting there, and Ron, the engineer, looked at me and he's like, "You guys got anything else?" And we kind of, nothing that we really, yeah. And Ames was like, "What about that one song on your phone?" So here we are with a $90,000 monitoring system, and I'm plugging the 1/8" into my phone, and I'm playing the most crude, rough recording from rehearsal right here, and we wound up just sitting there and listening to it for 5 minutes, as rough as it was. And he's like, "Just get in there," and we're all like, "What?" He's like, "No, just get in there and do that song." So we literally went in there, and the last track on the record, not the last one on the record, but the last one we tracked, was pretty much just from a shell, and we kind of took it into this improvisational mode, and it just started to write itself, and then boom, 20 minutes later, it was on tape. And then about 25 minutes later, I'd improvised all my vocals and lined up the hooks, and everything just fell into place, and it was a whole new way of writing. And then at that point, the record was done. So then we delivered the video and the record to Pavement, and they've done a wonderful job for us right out the gate.
Wow, that sounds like a lot right there. Now, for anybody
it was a crazy process. Definitely a cool process. It was great.
Now, for anybody that's listening, where is Subcat located? Is that out in Syracuse? Or where?
They're right in Armory Square. Right in the heart of Armory Square, yep.
Great. And now, with the album itself, what kind of music, if somebody was to go out and say, "Hey, I want to listen to Caustic Method's new EP release," what kind of music would we be listening to at that point? What type of genre would you guys classify?
I'd say this album, I call it just classic American metal, done in a very modern context. To me, I've been fans of Pantera. It doesn't go out of date. It stays cool forever. I don't, a lot of bands might cater to trends and do this and do that, and then look back and go, that was just kind of what was cool then, instead of making something that might be consistent for a long time, which just, that doesn't date itself. So we just kind of keep it simple, keep the riffs speaking, and keep the lyrics honest and real, and the delivery 100% octane fuel so that people can relate to it. Because if you're not feeling it when you're doing it, nobody's going to feel it when they're listening. So to me, we fall into the realm of like a Hatebreed, an American Head Charge, Dry Kill Logic, something, like a Soil, Drowning Pool as well. A little bit of a blues influence, but a little bit of just like an American hardcore influence on some of it. So it's, for me, it's just kind of like a product of our influences, but at the same time, I think we've always just wanted to keep it simple and just hammer it and always be like really convincing, you know? And that's kind of like what you'll find on the record, I think. It's just a real convincing record of attitude mixed with just straight ahead metal, just straight.
Wow, that's something that we can really, really appreciate. And by the sounds of it, this is probably one of our favorite words to use. But we're going to say this sounds like it's going to be very eclectic, a very mix of multi-genre, kind of mixed with your guys' own flavor. Am I correct in saying that?
That's kind of it. Yeah, we got our own thing, and that's kind of always worked for us. Or sometimes against us, because if you're not into what we do, you might just not like it. But I just think we just do what we do, and it's like I said, the product of all the influences. You hear a lot of bands say that, but it's true. You know, some people bring certain colors, and other people bring certain colors, and we mix them. Those are the only colors you're going to get is the mix. So
exactly.
it seems to work. What we have right now, and then as far as the writing goes, we've been taking it from a very gut level thing. If it seemed to be working in the rehearsal room, let's work it and just keep it like in the moment, I guess, instead of like, you know, rehashing it and overthinking it. Just get the guts out. You get the guts on tape, then you go back to the guts and they sound real. Instead of, you know, you could tend to overthink yourself as an artist sometimes. And I think with this record, we just threw it on the table, just threw it down and just looked at it and said, yeah, that's what we do. It's perfect.
You know, and as a music fan myself and everybody out there, we can really pick up when a band actually plays from the heart, when they start going on all the words that are coming from their minds, stuff they've written down throughout their travels. Sometimes, like you said at the beginning, things, when people start recording, they do play to trends. They play to what's popular, everything else. But a lot of times...
Yeah, and sometimes when you're under money constraints, what sells? Ugh, yeah. I don't want to be ever trapped into what sells. That's the cool thing about Pavement, even with a band like Head PE. Like you said, eclectic. That's one eclectic band and one of my favorite bands, and they do what they do, and that's it. Then they're not going to, you know, go in and try to get the Head PE formula to cater to radio or anything like that. They're just going to be the artist and then hand us the art. Let us do what we do, and you guys do what you do. And it's a great marriage for a lot of the bands on this label because of that sort of that outlook, you know.
Oh, yeah. Now the fans will definitely pick up on that, the way it sounds. Now, for anybody listening, where can we pick up this music at this point? Is it all electronic or
pretty much
like hard copies?
There is hard copies. At this point, I haven't gotten any of like the actual hard. It came out in June, so we're still seeing where it's like, you know, I've heard it's out of print here, there, and everywhere, but I don't know tangibly where. But anywhere you can buy Sony, it's distributed through Sony. You'll see it on the end caps with Sony Brings the Metal display. If you're in like a higher end retail store, but you can get it at Barnes & Noble, FYE, Best Buy, pretty much anywhere in the big network that you go to buy a record, you can at least walk up to the counter and say, you can get this, right? And they'll say, yes, no problem. You know, but check for the Sony end cap. That's where we're showing up really a lot. So.
Okay. And how about on iTunes as well?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's become almost like the given, right? That's like,
you always got to check to make sure. You never know.
Let me ask you guys. It's cool, though. Awesome. It's to know that, like, when you go and play a town, that they don't have to go hunting down too hard to find you, you know, or when you don't have distribution, you have to physically tangibly put it in their hands, whether by free or coax them to buy it or whatever. You got to hope that you leave some music in the town on the way out. With this, you know, you leave the name behind if the interest peaks, and they can go and grab it at their leisure instead of stuffing it down people's throats.
That sounds awesome. Now, one last time, what's the name of the album?
The Virus, which is
okay.
pretty much a complete dedication to our fan base. We've always called our fan base the Virus because it's the word of mouth, man. That's what's always done it, you know, like people have always just spread a good word of mouth, and then when we come and play and back it up, it's just complete that process of converting the new listener. So to me, we're tight with all our people, and to me, it's just like this record's for them. Our chances to get to this level and put music out on a global basis is based on what they've done in the past for us by spreading the word and coming out and just being a part of it.
Now we did notice that you guys do have a big show coming up in support of the new album. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually, we're going to be going out to Los Angeles to play the classic Whiskey A Go-Go. opening for one of our favorite bands, Fear Factory, which is going to be an incredible experience. We're all looking forward to that a lot, and we're going to be popping up all over the place. The next year is going to bring a lot of crazy stuff, but we're all ready for it. But that show in particular, we're pretty stoked for.
That's awesome.
Whiskey. That's got some history there, without a doubt. One of the most legendary clubs on the planet. I got lucky to play CBGB's before that closed, and this was on the bucket list, so I feel good about this one.
Now you're playing at Whiskey Go Go. Probably, what's one of the most standout acts that's probably played at Whiskey Go Go that you, in your lifetime, have seen? That makes it special for you to actually go there and play it.
To me, this Los Angeles is kind of like home to like Rage Against the Machine, Fear Factory, two of them. That was their kicking grounds. You know, they came straight out of L.A. So yeah, that, and then you got to go back years. You know, the Whiskey spawned all of the whole '80s metal movement, and ever since then, anybody runs through the Whiskey. It's just become like it's just so legendary that like you have to kind of play there. It's just,
right.
It's for everybody.
You had to
big
bring
band or a little band.
Machine.
Well, yeah, I think, you know, I've seen footage of them right in downtown LA with I think the Whiskey right in the background, if I'm not mistaken. And
now,
Van Halen. Van Halen, that was the home to Van Halen and Motley Crue.
Oh yeah, absolutely, that's right.
Yeah, Van Halen came right out of the Whiskey, and so did Motley Crue. That was their home, away from home. So yeah, the history is incredible.
Wow, that's crazy because you know we do have Sean Six that does work with the Fuze magazine now. He's centrally based out in Boston, and he actually does his own radio show on CBS Radio out in Boston. And he does have his own spot on he has his own spot on the CBS Radio website, and it's got a page called Six Strings. And lo and behold, that's Nikki Sixx's brother.
His brother, yep, that's awesome.
Yep.
And Nikki Sixx is a great example of just keeping it classic and heavy and always on top of the game. All this new stuff that he puts out, man, is always killer. Even 6 a.m., you know, it's just quality. Never goes out of style.
Well, you know, it's a big country, and it's amazing how small the world can actually be. And you guys going out from New York to Los Angeles, and then, you know, like we had the people working out in Boston. You know, just with people's drive and electronics these days and everything being digital, it just brings the whole country almost into a nutshell.
And then you narrow it down to just the metal genre. You know, it's like the metal genre is not like any other genre that has like the radio airplay. It's still kind of one of those genres that's still word of mouth based, internet driven, and you know the world's really gotten small when it comes to that. Like the label just put us through like we got a lot of really good reviews of this record from like, you know, Europe, France, Germany, like Russia. It's insane to kind of like see your music get reviewed through different cultures, which is kind of cool because you know how it is, like sometimes things don't translate. So it's kind of cool. Metal can translate to all the different countries. It's like a universal language. And the world's got a lot smaller because of it. And I think for up and coming bands, you know, the new trick is going to be how do you use the internet completely to the max. You know, I still don't have a great handle on that, and I'm still learning every day. But that's going to be the key to it all, making the world real small by the click of a button.
You know, being with the Fuze magazine, we do cover every genre of music. We've covered everything from hip hop to country to hard rock to metal and everything else. And I tend to look at the background numbers for the Fuze, and I look at some of the analytics and everything else that comes through us. And I look and I see a lot of our stuff being hit on in Germany as well. And that's got a huge metal base.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like you actually look and you have to use the translator to read the reviews. When I'm reading the reviews from them, I'm like, I didn't think they'd like this, but that's great, good, awesome. You know, it's like especially the lyrical content and stuff.
There's a lot of bands that go and travel out in Europe, especially Germany, and you know, and it's not a far fetch to ever think about that in the near future.
Actually, one of my first priorities right now is we've gotten so much great press over there. We were in like a huge magazine over there called Power Play magazine. It's a big metal mag over there, kind of like Rip over here or something. And we got 8 out of 8 stars in the magazine, and we've gotten a trickle down from that. It's just like crazy. It's like I kind of want to go to Europe and tour like immediately, like yesterday. and there's another reason too. It's like over there, the metal listener isn't quite as fickle as over here. In America, we got these little boxes that everybody puts their metal in. Is it mathcore, speedcore, deathcore, grindcore? Everything's got this little box, and sometimes metal listeners, oh, I'm in my box and I'm cool. But over there, you'll see festivals with Guns N' Roses next to next to Slayer, and everybody's just as excited to see Guns N' Roses as Slayer. So it's like they seem to have a little more depth, I guess would be the thing. So I'd love to go tour there. I'd like to see the response live.
Hey, you never know. You guys might be as popular as David Hasselhoff over there, so you never know.
I'm not wearing a Speedo ever.
No Baywatch 3?
Yeah, great. They're rehashing that too, aren't they? Wonderful. Forgot.
Now, with your show, Whiskey Go Go, it's going to be what date is it going to be?
October 30th.
Now, that's going to be a Halloween weekend. Do you guys have any plans on wearing any costumes out there or anything special?
Yeah, we had ideas about it, but I think the first show in L.A., we probably wanted to do our thing, and then maybe afterwards we'll just dress up in costumes out back and then come out and just mess with people. They won't know who it is.
Well, that's always a fun thing to do, especially in Halloween. So, take any pictures, please share them with us on the Fuze page. We'd love to see them out there. And,
yeah, for sure. We'll definitely be linking a bunch of stuff up to you guys as well.
Sounds like it's going to be a fun time out there. Now, when you guys do get a chance, please forward us over a copy of the virus. We'd love to check it out.
Yeah, definitely. I thought you guys had gotten one because I'd put it on the list of a few to send out. I don't know if they've all gone out yet, so it's a possibility there might be one on the way. But I'll make sure that hits, okay?
Guarantee because we'll actually send that over to Sean Stick so he can take a listen to it over at CBS Boston. How's that sound for you?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
All
right, brother. Well, we're going to wrap this up right now, and we do appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk to us tonight.
Thank you for the opportunity, man. Much love.
Yeah, we're excited to see you guys go out to L.A., and we want to get a little bit of information, kind of share the information about the new album with everybody, and kind of get the Caustic Method name out a little bit more. So do you have any closing thoughts?
No, Central New York. Come on and see us. Let's go. We got a few shows here before we even take off out there. We're going to be opening for Slaw up in Watertown. We're doing Wednesday 13th at the Westcott Theater. There's a couple other national shows that I don't think they're confirmed, so I can't even say them at this point. But I know there's a bunch of shows coming through Central New York over the next month before we head out there. So come out and see us, hang out with us, grab a record, and then go destroy your living room.
That's awesome. All right, I do appreciate it, Matt. And this is Matt Caustic once again. He was sitting down just for a few minutes, talking to us, hashing up their trip going out to Whiskey Go Go out in L.A., and the brand new album that's available anywhere you can download anything these days, including iTunes. It's called The Virus, and we do appreciate your time once again, and thanks a lot, Matt.
Anytime, Fuze, just call me. I'm here.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
You have a great evening.
Have a great night, brother. Talk soon.